Hey you guys, first of all, happy Republic Day to all my brothers and sisters from India. I want to start with the short story from the Holy Word of God. There was a man who had two sons. The younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me now the share of property that is anyway going to come to me later." So the father divided his property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all he had and took a journey into a far country. And there he foolishly spent all his property in reckless living. And when he had spent everything, a pretty bad famine arose in that country. And he began to be in need. Remember, he's out of money now. So he went and hired himself out to someone of that country who sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. And he was longing to be fed with even the food that the pigs ate. But no one gave him anything. But when he came to his senses now, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough food, but I perish here with hunger? So I will get up and I go back to my father and I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants.'" So what did he do? He got up and went back to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him. And guess what? He felt compassion towards his son and he ran and hugged him and kissed him. And the son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his servants, "Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and set the table and make it ready, and let us eat and celebrate the returning of my son. For this is my son. He was dead and he is alive again. He was lost, but now he is found." And they began to celebrate. What a story of a father who can endlessly and unconditionally accept his child even after everything that the child has done against him. The father in the story is a representation of God, and the child is a representation of me. Even though I have made many mistakes, God still accepted me unconditionally and called me his child. Many times we think that because we fall short or make mistakes that we cannot face God. We are too embarrassed or ashamed or sometimes even afraid of God and what He thinks about us because of our shortcomings in life. God is rich in mercy and always ready to forgive us. If anyone listening to this has ever thought that they are cut off from God, please know that God is a God of reconciliation. He is a God of second chances. He always wants to bring us into His fold. The son rebelled and therefore left the house. In a similar way, we, because of our attitude, sometimes spend a life outside of the presence of God. We left our home and wander sometimes aimlessly in this world. The question we need to ask ourselves is, do you feel at home in this world? Does the world really fulfill the yearnings of your heart or your soul? If you feel like you are lost and wandering aimlessly in this world, know that God desires to have a relationship with you personally. When the son came back home expecting to work as his father's servant, he clearly got the surprise of his life. His father celebrated with a feast, with a party, because his father was not out to punish his son for his rebellion or selfishness. His father loved his son, that he was overjoyed to have him back in his life. So is it with our God. See, money can buy us the pleasures of this world, but it cannot buy the love of our Father in heaven. For that, all we need to do is to turn to Him.